All right, men, we're continuing our look at Samson, learning some things from his life. I'm just reflecting on the story. I guess I've sort of presumed that most of you know the story of Samson, that the angel appeared to his mother and father and said they were going to have a son and he was going to be a Nazarite from his birth. He grows up, he sees a Philistine woman that he wants as his wife, and basically he goes down to her, wants his dad to, hey, put this marriage together. And while he's going down to her, a lion attacks him. He kills a lion with his bare hands. He goes back home. He comes later. He finds some honey. The bees have made a nest, and in the carcass of that lion, he gets some of the honey. He ends up going, and when he gets married, he tells a riddle, and basically the Philistines work his new wife, to getting him to tell the riddle to them, and then he ends up killing 30 Philistines and giving the clothes to those men that he told the riddle to, and they figured it out. And then he basically attacks the Philistines. They kill his wife, and he burns up their crops, and the Philistines come after him. He kills 1,000 Philistines. He spends the night with a prostitute, and they wait to try to kill him at the city gates. He puts the city gates on his shoulders and walks off. And then you get to the Samson and Delilah story, and where Samson basically finally tells his greatest devotion to God, and she cuts his hair. The Philistines come in, take out his eyes, make him grind at the mill, and then in the end they want to make sport or make fun of him, and he comes out and he pushes the pillars that hold up the temple, and basically he dies in his last act, but he kills more Philistines in his last act than he did while he was alive. And I say all that maybe as we look at the story of Samson. Samson's story is outlined in the Bible. I might, just as I go through that, challenge you. What's your story? What's your story going to be? What's your story with God going to be? You're writing your story every day. Samson's story started with a devotion, a commitment to God, and a consecration and a separation to God. What does your story begin with, and where will your story end? And that's really why we're looking at these, is how your story can end good, hopefully better than Samson's. And you don't have to end up the way Samson did, because the rest of this week we're going to take a look at maybe some of the things that Samson did that resulted in maybe not so good an end, or maybe his eyes getting put out, but how maybe you can not have your spiritual eyes put out and finish strong and great for God.